Warning, this episode contains content that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. It's a sad thought that something as simple as giving someone a ride or letting someone into your home could end in your death. Two girls who formed a deadly duo, a conniving plan with a sinister goal and a result that may leave you rather angry. All this and more as we explore the anatomy of murder. Anna Brackett was an 85-year-old retired seamstress living in a community called Auburn Greens in Auburn, California. She was not only a loving grandmother, but a loving great-grandmother, and was known for being tremendously loving, kind, and generous. It was June 14th, 1983, a hot, sunny day. Anna had been making plans to attend a bingo game, as she regularly did, so she was getting ready for an evening she was very much looking forward to, socializing with friends and having a few laughs, all while maybe making a few extra dollars. But then there came a sudden knock at the door. Anna made her way over and opened the door, where she saw two young girls standing there, Shirley Wolf, 14, and Cindy Collier, 15. And they appeared to be in need. Water is what they asked for on such a warm summer's day, and Anna, being the warm and welcoming woman she was, invited the two in without a second thought, closing the door behind them. If only Anna had known where these two girls had come from. Neither girl had a pleasant life. Shirley Wolf had been in and out of foster homes ever since her father got put in jail for raping her. Her father would rape her sometimes 3 times a day, and once she reached puberty, bought her birth control pills to keep his horrible acts from having any further consequences. She had to testify on the stand against him, and from there, her life continued to be rather messy. At her most recent foster home, she got into a physical altercation with another girl after accusing her of stealing her makeup. For this, Shirley was sent to a juvenile detention center where she met up with Cindy Collier, a girl with her own unfortunate past littered with criminal activity and sexual abuse, which landed her in the same place. The two girls immediately hit it off and hatched a plan to escape, which they did very soon after. The two girls were back in public and needed a car and a new experience. Shirley and Cindy made their way to Auburn Greens, where Anna Brackett resided. Cindy was familiar with this neighborhood as she had lived there with her own grandparents at one point. The two figured that if they were going to get a car from some unsuspecting person, their best shot was an elderly person. So the two went door to door, seeking assistance in some way, usually to use a phone, but fortunately for the majority of the neighborhood, the two girls were giving off bad vibes, and many of the senior citizens there locked their doors. The two girls were unsuccessful house after house after house until they got to the home of Anna Brackett, who opened the door widely to meet the two girls with a fake thirst for water. The moment Shirley and Cindy saw Anna, they knew that she was their target. The two girls stepped inside and Anna got them refreshments, sat them down on her couch, and chatted with them politely for over an hour. While Anna laughed and told stories, Shirley and Cindy did their best to play along, pretending to be amused, but really just biding their time before they launched their plan to steal Anna's car. If only that's how far it went. Eventually, Anna got a phone call from her son, who was going to provide her with a ride for bingo and would be arriving to pick her up soon. Shirley and Cindy looked at each other, knowing that their window of opportunity was closing quickly with the arrival of Anna's son. So Shirley rushed to Anna once she had hung up the phone, clutched her throat, and slammed her down. Anna screamed in pain and confusion as her 85-year-old body hit the solid floor. Cindy wasted no time in fetching a knife from Anna's kitchen and handed it over to Shirley, who had a merciless bloodlust in her eyes. She took the knife firmly in hand and thrusted it at Anna, piercing through her clothes and flesh and stabbing deeply into her. Anna howled in agony, begging Shirley to stop, exclaiming repeatedly, "I'm dying, I'm dying." Shirley replied with one word as she stabbed ruthlessly, "Good." Shirley knew that Anna could possibly survive the attack and tell the police about them, so to eliminate that chance, she began striking her viciously in the neck. Once blood began spilling freely out of Anna's mouth and she went motionless, she knew the job had been done. She looked down at the elderly woman's dead body, the woman who had been so tremendously kind to them just moments before, and felt no measure of guilt. In fact, she felt that the deed was immensely fun. The two girls immediately began rummaging through Anna's belongings, looking for anything of value and her keys. They did find a set of car keys, but Anna's car wouldn't start, so the two were forced to flee on foot, having killed Anna for practically no reason whatsoever. As they ran down the side of the highway, Anna's son passed them in his car, thinking that two girls being on the highway like that was a foolish idea. Little did he know that they were the ones responsible when he came upon his mother, who had been stabbed 28 times. The girls' carelessness was a big part of their undoing. While police didn't believe two young girls could have committed such a heinous crime, the witness reports from others in the community, others who recognized Cindy from when she used to live there, led the police to investigate Shirley and Cindy anyway. At questioning, Cindy remained cool, calm, and collected, while Shirley almost immediately spilled the truth about what had occurred that day. When police confronted Cindy with Shirley's full-blown confession, Cindy just laughed. The two were considerably proud of what they had done and felt not an ounce of remorse for it. Police came across a diary that Shirley had been keeping at the time. They noticed that much of the diary was illegible, but there was one very clear entry dated the exact day that Anna had been brutally murdered. It read, "Today Cindy and I ran away and killed an old lady. It was lots of fun." The case was certainly closed. The two girls went on to be sentenced for their crimes sometime later. Cindy received 12 years in prison for her role in the crime, while Shirley received a mere 11 years in prison for fulfilling the brutal murder of 85-year-old Anna Brackett. Both girls have since been released. Cindy is known to be a law-abiding citizen now with a family of her very own, while Shirley continued on a criminal path after her release and has been arrested a number of times, but has reportedly been attempting to turn her life around. That's all for this episode. Be sure to subscribe to my channel now because you won't want to miss what's next. Also, keep the lights off and tune into my previous episode of Twisted Tens. This one is 10 photos taken right before death, part 2, and it's sure to shock you. You can either press on screen now or you can press the link in the description below. And I'll see you next Sunday.